they're in the custom transitions.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Chief Meteorologist James Zahari here. Of course, with me is weather anchor Peter Warner. We've been keeping an eye on the latest long-duration snowstorm that has been going on across eastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois, and we still have more snowfall to go.
We're only about halfway through.
Halfway through, that's right. So I'm glad you can join us, everyone. Of course, we continue to update you on our News 8 Plus app. Of course, we'll be keeping you updated on the latest snowfall reports that we've been getting. Right now, just a very small handful at a time. But if you would like to take that measurement and send it to us, we'd be more than happy to not only show that off on the air, but let the people at the National Weather Service know as well. Just getting all those pieces of the puzzle, as I always like to say, finding out where all these measurements are going on. Of course, it is certainly not a very good day as far as getting out and about. A lot of people are staying off the roads, which is great.
It's great.
And but still, if you have to go out, you really got to take it easy out there, because all those roadways, no matter if the main roadways or even when it comes to the secondary roadways, they are definitely snow covered.
Yeah, those neighborhood streets. I mean, I just peeked outside here at the station. You're going to be seeing, honestly, probably the most lingering impacts around those neighborhood streets as well, too. So that's kind of going to be the big impact, say, especially as we get towards Sunday.
Right.
And I know the plows are out there. I've been tracking the plows. We can track that here.
Well, very good.
Yes, and they're all busy. Trust me, they're all working very hard. They're going to be working day and night to make sure our roads are all clear.
Probably right through Sunday going to be
right through
doing
Sunday,
it.
but we're still going to be seeing snow accumulating here through the next, say, what, 6, 7, 8 hours at least.
Right.
So.
And it's the type of snow, too, that we're now starting to see that change take place across the area. Well, we started off with this snow late last night. It was a very dry snow. It's been that way throughout like the early morning, and now we're getting the temperatures to a point where it's becoming a bit more compact.
Wet.
Yes, and that's going to make it really challenging out there. So if it's been a really tough, if you've been out and about and you notice how challenging it was so far, it's going to get even worse as we go through the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. So let's go right into our graphics here. Let's first talk about the camera shots, and we got a whole bunch of them. And look at that visibility, Peter. That's something else.
It is low, and I will say our house model did a fantastic job with this. I talked about it yesterday. In the overnight hours, as we first kind of saw the system pop up, some stronger winds, some heavier snow, limiting visibility. Then right around lunchtime today, right around 12 o'clock.
Right.
We were expecting to see another dip in that visibility. And you can see very little cars out there as well. Maybe, what, 1, 2, 3, I can count 4 at most.
This is the Bridgepoint camera, and so you're supposed to easily see the arch of the I-74 bridge, but you can see how slow those cars are moving. Visibility is probably a quarter of a mile or less. That's going on. And folks, that's not really going to change too much. Now, there could be a brief break or two going into the afternoon, but the operative word is brief that we're looking at when it comes to the Bridgepoint camera. Now, we're going to go take a look at the Interstate 74. Of course, this is expanding the pictures, Illinois and Iowa bound on the I-74 bridge, right around the I-74 bridge itself. Got 12 cameras up and running. At least from these cameras alone, the visibility is not too bad compared to what we had with the Bridgepoint. But you can see how people are still taking it really slow. Even I-74 itself, you can see how it's still very snow covered, maybe even a little slushy to go with it as well.
I was going to say, especially on those like exits, I noticed some cars kind of getting a little slippy up there at points. Because I've been watching these cameras as well. Just kind of keep an eye on the traffic and any impacts. I know a lot of accidents have kind of happened right on those ramps.
Right.
Kind of getting that transition where the plows are kind of pushing some of that sloppiness towards those entrance and exit ramps.
Right.
So right when you're getting on and off is where we've actually seen some accidents here today.
Right, and yeah, any of the bridges that going on, those are the ones that are going to get the slickest out there,
that's for sure.
Because there's no insulation underneath that to kind of, keep it sustained. So that's why we're seeing that in some of those camera shots that we're noticing around Walcott. Hey, the roadways actually look pretty good, but that may be temporary. Just might put some salt down over there around Walcott. West Branch, well, the camera is kind of snow covered right there. As you can
say,
see.
280 doesn't look too bad either there. From what
no,
I can
280
see.
looks really good. Of course, when you throw down that ice, given the temperatures that we've been noticing, which have been right near 30 degrees or so, is doing a real nice job. We're actually noticing that too, just north of LeClaire as well. That's that camera in the upper left-hand corner. That we're noticing there. So, some good signs there, but within the Quad Cities itself, some of those roadways are definitely snow covered. Hometown cameras that we have, of course, this takes us Louis to Rock Falls, Prophetstown, Dixon, Illinois. You guys, you and Andrew have been showing at Whiteside County Airport, and look at that visibility that's taking place.
I mean, normally you can see the runway pretty clearly out there, and I know when we talk about maybe severe storm events, say in the summer, we can see the little wind flag they have out there.
Right.
You can't even see that right now. That's only probably what, it's like on the other side of the road or the runway.
Right.
Literally right there. So definitely some visibility impacts.
And you can see over in Rock Falls, too. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see how the roads are very slushy, very snow-covered and such. So a lot of people are taking the advice, staying indoors, making sure that, let this thing blow over before things kind of settle down. Of course, I think a lot of people want to know certainly is, how much snowfall we have seen. We've been seeing those numbers range around 5 inches or so.
Give or take.
Give or take. Over in Moline, at my house, we're over 7 inches.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Geneseo, of course, where Andrew lives, he's approaching 8 inches, if not already.
Yeah.
So that snow is really beginning to pile up. And like I said, it's becoming a compact snow, given the temperatures that we're noticing from northeast, but also to the southwest. In southeastern Iowa, those temperatures are right around freezing. So this is where it's going to be a heavy, compact, I hate to say it, heart attack snow. You got to be really careful about that when it comes to this type of snowfall and shoveling it as well. I want to throw out a heads up to my neighbors who came out to my driveway. They knew about my heart condition, my heart procedure I had just over a month ago, and they just came on over and did my driveway, and they're willing to do it again this evening. So I got to give them something. So that was really nice of them.
I mean, it's the kindness of the Quad Cities region, right?
It really is. It really is. Here's some of the snowfall totals that Peter put together, what he's seen so far. Not too many, but you can see Burlington at 6 inches, right around the airport, and that airport report was given, what time?
So all these numbers that you're seeing here were put out by the National Weather Service through 11:15 a.m. this morning. These are of our hometowns. These are the highest totals that I saw on this list so far.
And obviously some of these numbers are going to be tweaked up a little bit since now.
Yeah, so I'd say probably, I know some of us, again, maybe here in the Quad Cities where we've had some pretty good snowfall coming down, maybe even another half inch, because it's been about an hour or so since then, at least maybe another half inch with this heavy snowfall we're seeing. So they're going to continue to accumulate here as we get throughout the day. Again, we talked about this a lot this week too, I feel like. We talked about that afternoon kind of time frame where we're going to get another round of that heavier snow moving through.
Right, exactly. It's going to be a bit more frequent as we get into the rest of this afternoon and going into the evening hours. So yeah, very likely we're going to be doubling these numbers in the next, I would say, 12 hours or so.
Yep, I think
so it's going to be really impressive. Now, by the way, if you have any snowfall measurements out your hometown, we would love to hear those numbers, okay? So not only can we broadcast those on the air, but we want to make sure that National Weather Service, our friends at National Weather Service, get those numbers too, so they can kind of really break it down where the core of this heavy snow axis is actually taking place.
It's really important. Some of the best ways to do that is, I know Andrew put out a Facebook post asking for snowfall totals. If you're watching us on Facebook right now, we have right around 170 of you guys watching us currently on Facebook, and that's just with the concurrent viewers. But if you do have some numbers, you can put them in the chat here. I've got it up. So put those numbers in the chat. You can send them to us. We have a number 309-304-0888. Again, that's 309-304-0888. You can text us there. You can send pictures to our website of maybe the ruler in the snow. Those are always fun to see as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, please send them in, and then we can get that information out. Let's go and show you what we are doing, tracking now, and what's next and new. Of course, the heavy snow at times will be taking place. If you happen to see a little break in the snow, it's not over, okay? No. It's just a brief period where we don't see much snow, but it's going to pick up again. So this is where, once again, we can't stress this enough, to really avoid that travel come today. Let the city plows kind of do their thing, because as long as those roads are much clearer, then they're going to be able to kind of get everything cleared off as fast as they can. Snow will still is on track to taper off later on tonight. We'll break down the timing of that in just a little bit. And then as the system pulls away, we're going to start picking up those winds out of the northwest.
Oh, yeah.
we're talking about maybe, what, 30, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
Yes.
That could be taking place. Now, there could be some drifting here and there, given the fact that the snow is becoming more compact. But keep in mind, too, that this snow cover is going to really refrigerate the air and produce some very chilly daytime highs, but those overnight lows are going to get pretty cold early this week.
Scary, and not even just early. I was looking at it. So maybe a tease, maybe
around
zero on Thursday morning. Multiple models throughout yesterday.
And if the wind chill, if there's some wind, could be below that as well.
Yep.
That's for sure. So that's kind of what we're looking at here when it comes to the breakdown going into the rest of the day, late tonight, and certainly in the days to follow. Now, Peter went ahead and put down the snowfall when it's going to end. I think a lot of people are, when is this all going to end? Especially if you are one of those snow haters, because trust me, we've had few people actually want to know, when is this all going to come to an end? So this is a nice little breakdown that you have here, Peter, as far as when this snow is going to be taking place, coming to an end from south to north.
Yeah, and what's different here is yesterday I showed this graphic, right? And it was pretty much due west to east was that timing. This one, it's a little bit different because the area of low pressure, as that continues to track towards the region, we're going to get what we like to call a little wrap around that low. So that's why it's kind of more curved here and almost more east-west direction for the time frame rather than almost the north-south. So our furthest southwest hometowns, Mount Pleasant, Burlington, Warren, Henderson, Knox County, even to portions of Loiza and Mercer County. I think right around 10, 11 p.m. you should start to see either more snowfall clear, maybe some lingering flurries, but really snowfall clearing by then. Here in the metro quad cities, right around 11 p.m. to 12 a.m., I think that's when we're going to start to see that snow clear here. There's some pretty good agreement both on our in-house model and the rapid refresh model on these time frames that we're looking at. Then again, further to the north and further to the east, Princeton, Peru, Bureau County, friends up into Whiteside, and Joe Davies and Carroll County as well. We could be seeing that clear right around 1, 2 a.m. here.
Right. So since we're talking about timeline here, this is the hour-by-hour snowfall. Really like this graphic because we can now show you, given the time that we're at right now, how it's related to what we could potentially see as we head later on tonight. And if you look at the 2 p.m., let me see if I can get my little arrow going here. There he is. Here we are. We're kind of in this category right here, between 5 and 7 inches of snow, right in this general area. And this gives us the towns of Galena, Clinton, of course, the Quad Cities, Galesburg, and even around Burlington. So as you can see, as we go into the evening hours and even after midnight, generally we're looking at about 10 to maybe 13 or 14 inches of snowfall before it's all said and done. And those higher amounts will very likely be in some local areas.
Yes.
So that's the timeline that we have from north to south, from Galena right through the Quad Cities and all the way down to Burlington. And given the numbers that we've seen so far, the timeline is right there.
It's verified pretty well here. The
Very much
forecast
so.
we were giving you guys, I mean, Quad Cities right around noon, say 6 inches. Those numbers we have, 6 to 7 inches for many of us right now.
So it's been looking really good, given the fact that, we know how much moisture is left in this system, given the temperatures that we have, not only at the surface, but aloft, the ratio, the rates. There's a lot of variables, folks, that go into play here when it comes to determining, the amount of snow that will be on the ground in certain locations of our area. And this is coming in very nicely as far as what we've been seeing so far and what we're still expected to see as we go through the rest of the day and also overnight as well. Let's get right to that radar. And all what we're seeing here is a whole lot of snow. When you start seeing those slightly brighter colors, like we're actually noticing along the river and points east, that's where the snow is really starting to pick up. Let's give you everyone a wider view of it. Then you can see the breakdown in precipitation where the heavy snow is taking place and areas in central and southern Missouri where all the rain is taking place. Now, I've had some viewers ask me, James, are we going to get any thunder snow out of this? Now, given what we're seeing here on this latest radar, especially areas east of Kansas City, east of that low, there hasn't been any lightning out there, but we've got a whole lot of moisture there that's running in to all that cold air that is located where we are.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the path of this low, too. I saw someone say a comment, I think it's Kirksville, Missouri.
Yes.
If we see the low, it's a theory I saw on our Facebook live stream comment of if it passes over or to the east of Kirksville, we're going to get a big snow. And actually, I know it's like, saying, right? But that's actually very accurate with the type of systems that we see here, because this is one of those Colorado low tracks where we're getting all that moisture making its way up here towards the region.
That's right. That's right. And you can see how that snow that we have, this rain band, I should say, right here, is now entering that really cold air heading toward Quincy itself. So one of the things that we mentioned about the snowfall, the higher snowfall mounts, are going to be expected maybe just south and east of the Quad City. We're talking about the 12 to 14 inches of snow. That could be very likely in areas just south and east of the Quad City, especially I would say right near maybe Burlington and possibly even heading a little bit more toward Peoria, maybe even a little farther northward, okay? If there's any more wobbling that may be taking place with this track, literally a county north or south, that can certainly make a big difference. But you check out where that heavy moisture is, and it's streaming its way generally east-northeast. So I would say south of the Quad Cities, that's where we're looking at as far as maybe seeing the heaviest of that snow band.
Yep, I agree. And I mean, we're talking about precipitable water in the atmosphere, which we like to talk about a lot when we look at maybe snowfall totals, and those peak spots maybe 3/4 of an inch of water. And that's just within an hour.
That's right. I mean, if we had these temperatures that we just showed you, which are right around 30 degrees or so, and that temperature was another 10 degrees colder, then the ratio would be so much higher.
So high.
And, we would be talking about maybe 20 inches of snow on the ground.
Crazy.
That would be crazy.
Crazy town.
You would say crazy because this is the first big snow.
First big snow here, yeah. 'Cause we have pretty much covered last year's total in about 1 day here today, probably, right?
Which is really impressive.
I mean, it's a fascinating system. I mean, we do get these at this time of year, but yeah, I literally was walking out the door here. You saw it. I just looked outside. I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy
That's
town
right.
what's going on right now.
That's right. It's really impressive to see this in late November, because obviously the numbers that we are expected to see could very likely top the record that took place in 2018.
Yes.
Okay, it's 13.3. It's going to be really close.
Borderline.
That's right. Here's our future track. This is 8 p.m. You can see a little dry slot trying to make its way just south of the Highway 34 corridor from Ottumwa to Burlington to south of Galesburg itself. This is 8 p.m. We'll move the clock all the way to just about midnight. And as you mentioned, Peter, the timeline when this snow is going to end, pretty much on course here, on track to be slowly ending in the Quad Cities by around midnight. And then the last of those flakes will be pushing their way off north and east of the Quad Cities, leave behind clouds, but also leaving a pretty good stiff northwest wind that could potentially produce a little blowing and drifting of the snow. But as we mentioned, it's the compact snow, so maybe we might not see much of that drifting. Possibly in rural areas, there's a good chance on that.
Yeah, and I think the peak time frame that we are going to be seeing these strongest gusts would be through the early morning on Saturday, right? As we have a big driver.
Sunday.
Or on Sunday.
Yeah,
Pardon me, we've been thinking Saturday so much.
That's okay.
As we get into Sunday morning, and we talk about this a lot, right? When we have big swings in temperatures or big swings in pressure, that's really a driver of wind. Wind is pretty much a way to teleport, you could say, or transport either pressure differences or try and balance them out, really, with temperatures and pressure. And when we have that steep pressure gradient through, I'd say right around maybe 9, 10 a.m. on Sunday, that's when I think the peak winds are looking like.
Right, exactly. What's interesting, too, here is, we haven't really changed much as far as the snowfall potentials that we are expecting. I think if we had to be really, tweak a few things, I would think maybe areas more to the south and east, maybe approaching that 14-inch mark. I think maybe around the Quad Cities, I would say average around a foot. There is that. Given what we're seeing now, things could still change, folks, going in the next several hours or so. Okay, and once again, how much moisture is still going to be available throughout the rest of this storm system? That's something we're going to continue to keep an eye on for the rest of the day and tonight. Yeah,
it's going to be really crucial. Kind of, again, when we do these snowfall forecasts, right? We give you the ranges because those little changes in moisture, even if it's just by 10, 20 miles, can make a significant difference between you seeing maybe 8, 9 versus 12 to 15 inches.
No matter how you look at it, it's still
It's a lot of
A
snow.
lot of snow to shovel.
It's a lot
or
of
blow,
snow to
or
shovel.
A plow, you name it.
Yes.
What's going to be interesting too is that this snow-covered ground is going to refrigerate the air. No surprise, especially with the deep snow cover. So you're going to expect to see our temperatures stay below freezing for daytime highs in the days ahead. In fact, within that, on our 8-day tracker, we still have a chance for seeing some of that snow shower activity.
Yes.
There could be, I mean, accumulation-wise, they're still keeping it very low, from a
Very
dusting to maybe an inch. I think that higher amount of inch could be more south of the Quad Cities.
For Monday, yes.
For Monday. And then we could be seeing some snow showers going into Wednesday as well. A little too early. Doesn't look really impressive.
No.
But, you know, just letting everyone know, that is not expected to be a big snow as well. But the bottom line here, we're talking some pretty cold numbers coming on through, because that wake disturbance on Wednesday that will give us some snow showers is going to help draw down even colder air, at least for one day, going into Thursday, where those daytime highs won't get out of the teens.
Out of the teens, yeah. I mean, the polar vortex is kind of weakening a little bit right now,
Right.
which is not a good thing.
Right.
When we're looking at cold temperatures. We're having a weak start, and that kind of happens. When we look at the analogs for these weak La Niñas like we're going into, you kind of can have these cold shots that happen more, but usually less snowfall.
But less snowfall,
But
correct.
again, we're seeing this big snowfall to start.
Right. Let's get back on a two-shot here, and I wonder if we got any questions from people, or getting any snowfall amounts from people as well. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Thank goodness my wife gave me her car, by the way, because she has a full all-wheel drive. So that's why I was able to come on in here. And
what's the drive here? A little difficult?
Take it slow.
Yeah.
Take it slow. You know, I think there was a graphic that you and Andrew showed about when it comes to driving safety. Give yourself plenty of distance between you and the car in front of you. You know, try not to hit those brakes too hard.
Yes.
Take your time moving when you're at a stoplight. When you go from a red to a green, you know, take your time. Don't try and hit the gas too hard. You got to take it slow out there, because I did see a few cars kind of doing a little skidding there on the intersection. So you got to really take it slow if you have to go outside, except if you have animals too.
That's true. Yes.
My dogs are loving this.
Say that video was so cute.
If you check my Facebook page, I got my Samoads out there. Layla and Boo Boo have been out there in the backyard, and you know, it's like the beach to them. You know, all they need is one of those drinks with an umbrella, and it's a perfect thing.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's like home for them.
It really is. They love those conditions, and I wouldn't be surprised they're on the deck right now, just chilling, having the snow collect on them. They absolutely are loving it.
Yes.
So what do you got here?
So we got one from Susie from Belvedere. I believe that's further to our north
Way
and
up
west.
north. Yep.
Yes. What's going on for Belvedere? I think probably the 9 to 12 inch range, given what we're seeing now, give or take 8 to 12?
Yeah, I would say it's going to be right around there. Maybe you're averaging around maybe 10 inches, I would say, around Belvedere. So, you know, if you have any, if you happen to get some time to even take a little measurement in Belvedere, let us know. And like I said, we'll get that information out to everyone out there, as well as at the National Weather Service, too.
Yes.
Our friends out there doing a fantastic job out there.
They've been doing a great job.
Yes.
They've been so good with the information.
Keeping us
put out here,
updated throughout
too.
the whole time.
Oh, they're the best. I like to think we have the best office.
I think
a little biased maybe, but
no, not at all.
no. So we got a report from East Moline, 8 inches.
8 inches of snow.
And yes, so
and
that
I'm
was
right there. I mean, that's where I live, just right near East Moline, right there, the Two Rivers YMCA. So yeah, I got a measurement of 7.5, and now 8. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, and especially localized areas is where we could really get those heavy tolls.
Yes,
if it works out just
very
right.
much so.
Bettendorf, as of 12 o'clock, 6 inches of snowfall there. Brett is in Cape Coral, Florida. You lucky man.
Wait a minute, who is it?
This is Brett, one of our viewers. I'm guessing probably snowbird or on some vacation there.
He's got a nice little tropical drink in his hand right now, I bet. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. Coal Valley, we got 9 inches.
Okay, Coal Valley,
already.
sure.
Yeah. Let's see. They haven't been plowing.
And by the way, when was that reported, that 9 inches?
Let me see. I don't have the exact time frame,
That's
but
okay.
I remember seeing these about, give or take, 10, 15 minutes
Okay.
ago.
Okay.
So let's see. They haven't plowed a lot of the streets in Monmouth yet. That's probably just because there's so much going on with this snow. They're all so busy.
Right.
But about 6 inches there. Let's see. 10 in Coal Valley. Again.
10 inches in Coal Valley, another one. Okay,
So
wow.
just getting a lot of reports, which is good. We love to hear these
we
reports.
love this, yes.
Here we got a question for you, James.
Yes.
Does thunder snow occur towards the rain/snow kind of mix, or can it occur here in the Quad Cities?
If the dynamics are just right, we always look to see how the dynamics are from where the rain is going into the snow. And when we see, enough of those lightning bolts popping up, that's a sure sign that that's where the heavy snow is. The dynamics are really impressive, and that's where you can get some claps of thunder out of it. Now, we haven't seen any lightning bolts on our radar loop yet. I doubt if we're going to see any.
I don't know. There was a chance yesterday, but it's just the dynamics aren't working.
Right, but they are good enough at least to produce at times, and this is what we're anticipating as we go through the rest of the afternoon and evening, how we can get those snowfall rates up.
Yes.
Okay, they could be at least around an inch, maybe an inch and a half.
Yep.
So that's why we're not done with this snow. We're pretty much halfway there as far as the snowfall is concerned.
There we go.
Yeah.
This is from our good friend Riley. She has the best jokes she gives us every week on Ask Andrew. They're fantastic. Using the Weather Channel on her app on her phone, she's about 5.3 inches for Monmouth. So
At Monmouth, okay.
that makes sense. Right around 5.6 down there.
That's in Warren County? There's a Monmouth,
yes.
Iowa, and a Monmouth, Illinois. Did you know that?
Yes, Monmouth, Iowa.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, and I know it's there. I know Monmouth, Illinois, though, is our hometown.
Sure.
That's the one
Up
that
in
comes to
Warren
mind.
County, okay.
Yes, further to the south there.
And they're certainly seeing some good snow over there. At least they had a nice little heavy band that made its way through.
Our good friend Chris, he's saying fairway's closing at 5 p.m. I'm not surprised. A lot of places might be closing a little bit early here today.
Oh, sure.
Let's see. Some good snow reports. Snowing a lot in Galesburg. I'm not surprised by that. That's where we're starting to see that little heavier band moving
Heavier
through
band
right now,
making
right?
its way through, right. I'm going to try and even wind this picture out a little bit, too.
Let's see. Galesburg, almost 7 inches now.
Okay, very good, very good.
About on track with everything that we were expecting.
I would think we've got another half foot of snow to go, I think, in most of our hometowns as well. And, let's go ahead and go right full screen again on the Max 2 system if we can, or else we can just leave it like that. It's up to you guys. And you can see, you can see the temperatures are, once again, right near that freezing mark. So any of that snow that may be falling just south of the Quad Cities, that's becoming a compact wet snow. I mean, the kids out there are probably going to love it because you can make snowballs, snow forts.
Yeah.
The population of snowmen are going to be starting to increase.
It's that
here.
time of year.
It is, very much so. And you can see how much snow that we still have to go around northern Missouri, but also off to the west of us. All that still needs to wrap itself across our area as we make our way through the rest of the day and heading into the night. So that's where we are continuing to see periods of snow that will be taking place across the area.
And a good thing to look at here too is even if, we're obviously seeing the moisture heading in from the south, but look off to our west as well. There are pockets of heavy snow still even around the wrap. So once we get towards the wrap, you could get another kind of burst here right before it kind of all wraps up.
Right. Very deepening snow. And keep in mind, and I think, I forgot to put this in my show, but as far as the road conditions are concerned around eastern Iowa and Illinois, it was just all pink. Meaning that 100% snow covered across the board. Little surprised that we haven't had streets that would indicate where there should be no traveling at all. Actually, we don't even have to use that. I mean, just don't travel.
Yeah.
Watch the view from outside, enjoy it, get some indoor activities going. That's really the best thing you can do on a day like today.
I like to say it's a great way to start decorating for the holidays. Getting the Christmas tree decorated for those of you who celebrate those types of activities. Have some hot cocoa.
Yes.
We got rivalry weekend here on Channel 8. I know we got the Iron Bowl tonight.
The Iron Bowl is going to be taking place. Yeah, there's going to be some good games, but there's some good movies out there, holiday movie you can check out.
Yeah.
And I just want to point to everyone that we're not done when it comes to our weather coverage, when it comes to our weather impact team coverage. We'll continue to monitor everything that's been going on, any updates when it comes to the roadways. I know that there might be some accidents out there, some bumper problems that might have been taking place across some of our hometowns. So we're going to continue to update this on the WQAD 8+ app. We'll likely be doing another update coming up, probably around maybe 2 o'clock or so.
Yes, I think 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We have our 5:30 newscast streaming only on that 8+ app.
That's right.
And then an 8 o'clock update, and then News 8 at 10.
That's
I
right.
think what we got planned here for the rest of your day.
That's right. So hopefully, guys, you'll be able to join us. And like I said, we'll go ahead and update some of those snowfall amounts that's going on. And any discussions that we hear from our friends at the National Weather Service regarding any changes with the system, we'll let you know right here on News 8.